everyone. Welcome to the Nutrition with Context webinar, Chickpeas. I'm Clara Yan, a dietetic student from university, and I'm currently doing my stage at Concordia Performance Center. Before I start, let's have a quick activity here to see if you can recognize chickpeas. Which of pictures are chickpeas? The answer is all of them. In this webinar, I will talk about chickpea consumption, production, nutrition value, beneficial impacts on your health, as well as on our planets. And I will finish off with a cooking demo of a hummus recipe. Okay, let's dive into the world of chickpeas now. Chickpeas are also called garbanzo beans. There are two types. The larger round light colored is called kabuli. It is common in North America. The smaller, irregularly shaped are daisy, often used in India and the Middle East. We don't see much here. The daisy type has different colors: green, darker brown, and black. All types of chickpeas are harvested from the pods as shown in this last picture, and they are a nutritious staple of many diets. Chickpea is a key ingredient in hummus. The first three pictures are hummus made by kabuli, green daisy, and black daisy. Chickpeas would also go well in salads. People can ground it into flour to make falafel, farinata, and a soup. Chana masala, a stew-like dish, is very popular in Indian cuisine, and you can also make roasted chickpeas as healthy snacks. You may get a bit confused when you hear people saying legumes, pulses, and beans, and wondered, are they different or are they the same thing? And what chickpeas are? Let me tell you something that I learned. Any plant growing pods are legumes, so pulses are part of legume family, but the term pulses only refers to the dry edible seed within the pod when harvested. Beans, lentils, chickpeas, and split peas are the most common types of pulses. Pulses are special because they have distinct health benefits apart from other legumes. Unlike peanuts and soya, for example, pulses are low in fat and very high in protein and fiber. Chickpea is one of the earliest cultivated pulses. Domesticated chickpeas have been found between 8500 to 7500 BC in Middle East. India was the biggest producer in 2019, and it took 70% of global chickpea production. In Canada, Saskatchewan grow more than 80% of all Canadian grown chickpeas. Before I talk about its nutrition value, do you think are chickpeas starch or protein? The answer is both. The nutrition value of the two types of chickpeas are similar. Cooked kabuli contains more unsaturated fat. It's a nutrient, improves blood cholesterol level, and eases inflammation. Folate, a vital nutrient to make DNA and cells, especially during infancy and pregnancy. And phosphorus, it helps to form bones, teeth, and build proteins in your body. Cooked daisy contains more fiber because it's a thicker coat. Overall, they are all great sources for protein, carbohydrate, fiber, iron, and the nutrients that I just mentioned. When you eat chickpeas and other pulses as part of a balanced plant-rich diet, it may help you from various chronic diseases. Since it's a high fiber and protein content, it helps prevent sudden surges in blood sugar and improves overall sugar control in type 2 diabetes. Chickpeas are also good for your gut. The fiber is the preferred food for good bacteria in your gut. Eating pulses and chickpeas may reduce inflammation in the cells of the colon, promote regularity in your gut, and possibly prevent colorectal cancer. Pulses are a heart-healthy choice. A component in chickpeas interferes with absorption of cholesterol, so help to lower blood cholesterol levels and favorably affect the amount of fat in blood. Lastly, because it's rich in fiber and protein, it delays digestion and adding bulk to meals, so help you feel fuller longer and maintain a healthy body weight. You might be familiar with this plate from Canada's Food Guide. It recommends eating varieties, vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and protein foods in your meals. In fact, incorporating more plant-based protein foods in your meals is also highly recommended. Except the Canadian dietary guidelines recommend people eating more plant-based protein, there are 10 other countries in the world. Their guidelines also recommend the same. This include US, UK, Germany, Netherlands, and other 6 countries, including Finland, Norway, and Sweden, etc. The same suggestion from all of the experts behind the guidelines is to encourage you incorporating more plant-based protein foods in your meal rather than animal-based protein foods because it is good for your health, also good for our planet. Why pulses are low environmental impact? I'll be explaining to you from these 3 aspects: land use, water use, and greenhouse gas emission. For land use, do you know that half of the world's habitable land, except ice and desert area, is used for agriculture by human? From this figure, you can see that to produce 100 grams of protein, the land use of pulses takes 7 square meter space, and lamb, mutton, beef take 160 to 180 square meter space. What does it mean? It means that the land use of pulses is about 25 times less than most animal-based foods in order to produce the same amount of protein. For water use, still, to produce 100 grams of protein, pulses require 200 liter fresh water versus pig meat, lamb, and mutton require around 1,000 liter fresh water. What does that mean? It means that pulses need 5 times less of water than animal-based food, so it has a low water footprint. In general, food accounts for over a quarter of global greenhouse gas emission. To produce 100 grams of protein, pulses lead to less than 1 kilograms of greenhouse gas emissions, and animal-based food like beef, lamb, and mutton emit 20 to 50 kilograms of greenhouse gas. What does this mean? It means pulses only make 2% to 5% of greenhouse gas of animal-based foods. From the greenhouse gas emitted by animal-based foods, 88% is from agriculture. This includes land use change, methane produced from cattle, manure management, and synthetic nitrogen fertilizer for the feeds. For chickpeas and other pulses, to conclude this section, the crop uses less land and the production is more efficient. They also have a very low water footprint. They don't produce the special gas as the cattle do, less manure management involved as well. Because they can convert nitrogen in the air into a plant-available nutrient to use, they have reduced need for nitrogen fertilizer, also leave behind nitrogen residues to help future crops grow in the same soil, so less greenhouse gas emission from farm to fork. After you learned all the information about chickpeas, let's make hummus together. Before I bring up the recipe, if you remember, what nutrients do chickpeas contain? The answer is all of them. The recipe contains milk and sesame. It yields 500 ml hummus. That's about 2 cups. The ingredients are 1 can of chickpeas. If you'd like to use dried chickpeas, the instruction is available on our website. A 1/4 cup of olive or canola oil. I will use olive oil in the cooking video. A 1/4 cup of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon minced garlic. That's about 3 to 4 garlic cloves. A 1/4 cup of tahini, a 1/4 cup of 1% plain yogurt or kefir. I will use yogurt. 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon no salt seasoning. I like to use cumin. 3 to 4 fresh mint leaves, some black pepper and red pepper to taste. In this recipe, a serving is 30 grams, like 2 tablespoons, and it contains 80 calories. Let's watch the instruction now.
Let's start with hand washing. Washing hands thoroughly for 20 seconds would eliminate bacteria. Don't forget your nails and between fingers. Wash the mint leaves and the lemon. Also the lid of the can, because it might contain small traces of insects or bacteria that can contaminate your food. The cooking equipment you will need include a couple of bowls and plate for your ingredients, measuring cups and spoons, a can opener, a spoon, a knife, a juicer, a cutting board, a colander, and a machine to blend all the ingredients. You don't have to have an advanced food processor. If you have a blender like mine, it will work just fine. The recipe asks for a quarter cup of lemon juice. Based on my experience, that's about 1 medium lemon. I'd like to use a juicer to get the juice, so cut in half and press it against the pointing tip of the juicer. Then transfer the juice to a bowl for later use. If you don't have a juicer at home, here I got a tip for you. To maximize the juice potential, roll the lemon firmly against the counter to lose everything in there. Then we cut it in the length way, not another way, to make it easier to squeeze. To compare, the result of the hand-squeezed lemon is not bad, although it seems that a little bit of juice is still locked in there. But the one with the juicer, I got pretty much of everything from it. Next, let's open the can with a can opener and drain it. Pour it into a colander. Rinse with tap water to reduce unnecessary sodium content. Then pour it into a big bowl. Let's mince garlic together. We'll cut the bottom of each clove and smash it with a knife. Now we can get rid of the skin easily. Then we give them some nice smash again. Keep the head of the knife always attaching the cutting board while you mince them. Here are the ingredients I'm going to use. A can of chickpeas, a quarter cup of lemon juice, a quarter cup of 1% plain yogurt, a quarter cup of olive oil, a quarter cup of tahini, 3 to 4 fresh mint leaves, half teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, 1 teaspoon of cumin, and some black pepper and red pepper to taste. The next step is to dump everything into your blender or cooking processor. My small blender cannot do all the ingredients at once, so I'll make 2 batches. After adding the ingredients, let it blend. To make your hummus as smooth as a store-bought, the secret here is to add 1 tablespoon of water to the mixture and let it blend more. When it is smooth, it's time to transfer the hummus to a bowl. Then we add all the rest ingredients to the blender for the second batch. The same, I'm adding 1 tablespoon of water to the hummus. It also depends on how powerful your blender is. If it has less power, just give it a little bit more time to get a smooth result. Transfer the second batch of hummus to a bowl. And let me get the last tiny bit of hummus from the base. The mission completed.
Okay, so that was the instruction. In homemade hummus, usually lasts 3 to 5 days in fridge, and it is 3 times cheaper than store-bought. Dry chickpeas is usually cheaper than canned chickpeas. Bottled lemon juice is cheaper than fresh lemon juice. So it depends on what type of chickpeas and lemon juice you will use. Homemade hummus costs from $1.03 to $2. Store-bought, however, will cost $4.50 for the same amount. So this brings us to the end of my presentation. But before I let you go, let's spend a second here for aquafaba. It's the liquid from the canned chickpeas or the boiling water in the pot when you cook dry chickpeas. It is an excellent and a magical substitute for eggs in baking. 3 tablespoons of aquafaba replace 1 whole egg, and 2 tablespoons of aquafaba can replace an egg white. If you're watching your sodium intake, the aquafaba from home-cooked chickpeas would be a better choice for you. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned something new from my presentation. Have a nice day.